Today's project is the Madison Scarf. To start, we need to make a slip knot. To make a slip knot, make a circle with the yarn by putting the cut end of the yarn on top of the end that's still attached to the ball. Put your hand underneath and through the loop, grab the yarn that's still attached to the ball, and pull through the loop. Place the slip knot on your needle and hold the needle in your right hand. Pull the end to make the knot a little tighter, but don't make the knot too tight, keep it a little loose. This yarn is very soft and delicate, so you don't want to pull too hard or it will pull apart. Now grab the yarn with your left hand pinky and ring fingers. Wrap the yarn clockwise around your left thumb, making a loop. Put the needle up through the loop on your thumb. Pull the yarn to put the loop on the needle. Again, wrap the yarn clockwise, put the needle up through the loop and pull. Wrap the yarn around your thumb, put the needle up through and pull. This is called casting on, and we're going to keep doing this until we have 32 loops or stitches on our needle. When you've cast on 32 stitches, put the needle with the yarn on the right side and line up the stitches so all of the bottoms of the stitches face to the inside of the cable needle. Slide the stitches to the ends of the needle so that you can begin knitting, keeping the stitches facing on the inside. Now we are going to join in the round and knit each stitch. The knit stitch is done in 4 steps. Step 1, with your right needle, put the needle up through the first loop on the left needle. Step 2, wrap the yarn attached to the stitch around your right needle. Step 3, pull your right needle through to the front, catching the new loop. Step 4, slide the loop off your left needle. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3, Step 4. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3, and that's where it cuts. Now we're going to knit the next stitch. Step 1, right needle up through the loop. Step 2, wrap the yarn around the right needle. Step 3, pull the right needle to the front. Step 4, slip the stitch off. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3, Step 4. When you've gone all the way around once, you will get back to the stitch on the left needle with the tail. You have just finished knitting 1 round. To make the Madison Scarf, you will be making a purl stitch in addition to the knit stitch. This gives you the pattern that looks like this. The columns of V's are the knit stitches, and the bumps are the purl stitches. Purl stitches are just a mirror image of the knit stitch, so if you can make a knit stitch, you will find it's easy to make a purl stitch. This makes a pattern called ribbing. So for our pattern, we are going to make 2 knit stitches followed by 2 purl stitches. Insert your needle up through the first stitch to make a knit stitch, wrap the yarn around, and finish knitting your first stitch. Now you're going to knit your second stitch. Now we are going to make 2 purl stitches. To do this, first bring the yarn between the needles to the front of the project. This time, step 1 will be to bring the right needle through the front of the left stitch. Step 2, wrap the yarn around from right to left around the front needle. Step 3, push your right needle through to the back. Step 4, slide the stitch off of the left needle. Now we're going to do it again. Step 1, put your right needle into the front of the stitch. Step 2, wrap the yarn around the front needle. Step 3, push the needle through to the back. Step 4, slide the stitch off. Now we're going to make 2 knit stitches. First, you need to bring the yarn from the front between the needles to the back. Then make step 1 of the knit stitch, step 2, step 3, step 4, another knit stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now bring the yarn between the needles to the front to make a purl stitch. Step 1 for the purl stitch, yarn needle in front. Wrap the yarn around the front needle. Push the needle to the back. Slide the stitch off the needle. Again, step 1. Step 2. Step 3. Step 4. Continue knitting 2 stitches followed by 2 purl stitches around, knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2. The knit stitches look like little V's and the purl stitches look like little bumps. In this stitch pattern there are 2 knits followed by 2 purls, then repeated, 2 knits, 2 purls. When you see a V, it means you should knit the next stitch. So we're going to knit this stitch. Now knit the next stitch. If you see a bump, you're going to purl the next stitch. So bring the yarn between the needles to the front and make a purl stitch. Slide your stitches as needed to your front of your left needle. Continue working the pattern. Continue to work in rounds about 10 times or until scarf measures about 8 inches in height. You'll know you've reached the end of the round when you get back to a column of V stitches. And the V stitches with the tail at the bottom. Now we need to get our stitches off of the needles. This is called binding off. First, knit 2 stitches. Now take the left needle tip and put it into the first stitch you knit on your right needle. Now pull the right needle through to the front as if you're doing step 3 of the knit stitch. Knit the next stitch. Again, put your left needle tip into the first stitch and pull the right needle through to the front. Knit another stitch. Bind off again. You'll start to see that the bind-off stitches are connected across the top and also look like little V knit stitches. Continue to bind off until you have only 1 stitch remaining on your right needle. Put your right needle into the V of the first bind-off stitch, wrap the yarn around the needle, pull the needle through as if to knit it, then bind off this stitch. Now remove your needle from the last stitch and pull the end of the yarn through the loop to make a knot. Now we need to weave in the ends of the yarn tails. Poke the yarn through the edge stitch and turn it inside out. Push the yarn end through the inside stitches going in one direction. Now come back in the other direction. Repeat going back in the other direction down into the center of the scarf. Cut off any remaining yarn. Do the same thing with the other yarn tail. Congratulations! Your Madison scarf is finished!